So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can scale up your lead generation efforts on LinkedIn so you can consistently make 20K or more a month through LinkedIn. And the great thing about what I'm going to show you is that the method that I'm going to show you today will actually allow you to be able to gain inbound leads. So these are people who are very well warmed up. They know about what you offer and how you work, and they're ready to buy. And it will enable you to get these inbound leads without having to post content on LinkedIn every day. So it's really going to be an effective and quick way for you to be able to start gaining clients in a group and consistently make that 20K a month. So let's have a look at what you need to do. Right. So the first thing you need to do if you want to scale up your lead gen on LinkedIn is you want to create a webinar. Now, this webinar needs to address the biggest pain points of your ideal clients, and it needs to help give them an idea of what the solution would be to those pain points. You don't want to exactly tell them the solution, but you do want to give them an idea, an overview of how they could solve that problem. Because when they have that overview, they're then going to be clearer about being able to move forwards. And of course, on that webinar, you need them to know that you are an expert in your field. And so you need to share some experiences of your clients and how they've got results through the process that you are telling the webinar attendees about. So once you've created your webinar, then you need to go to the next stage, which is to message your LinkedIn connections and tell them about your webinar. And you're basically inviting them to the webinar, and if they would like to attend, then you send them the link to attend the webinar. There we go. So once you've messaged them and you've got people registered for the webinar, then you're ready for the next step, which is actually to host your webinar. Now, I love doing my webinars live because what happens when people come live is that they are actually attentive on the webinar and they engage a lot and they get to ask you questions, and that means that they're getting that connection with you, they're developing that relationship with you. And these are all good things for them to be in a position where they're more decided that they want to work with you. So it's all about really warming them up, really getting them to a place where they feel that connection with you and they know that you are genuine, you're here with integrity, and you really want to support them. And that, you know, when you're taking that time to do a live webinar, people really engage with that, and they're not multitasking as they might be on an automated webinar. So once you've hosted, well, when you're hosting your webinar, what you need to do is actually invite your ideal clients to come onto a strategy session with you. Now, this strategy session is going to be incredibly valuable to them, and it's going to help them to plan out their next steps. So plan out how they're going to achieve their visions for their business or their life or whatever it is that you help them with. So it needs to be a very valuable. And that's essential. And so what I do with my clients when they come on to a strategy session with me is I do a LinkedIn strategy session. And what we do is we optimize your LinkedIn profile so that you're very clear that your profile is going to speak to your ideal clients. And I help you plan out and create your LinkedIn strategy that you need to put in place in order to achieve your goals. So essentially in that process, what happens is a lot of the people I'm speaking to get really excited about their plan. And of course, they can work with me in order to implement that plan. And so once they see the plan and they know it's possible for them to create the goals that they have and achieve the goals that they have, then they're in a real place where they want to go ahead. They want to work with me and they want to be able to get the results that they can get from implementing those goals. So that's what your valuable strategy session is going to offer. And of course, because it's coming off a webinar, you're going to be able to do a lot of these calls with a lot of people in a short space of time, which means that you make your income for the month very quickly in that short space, rather than having to do lots and lots of individual calls with people. And of course, the calls that you're doing with people who come off the webinar, they're really well warmed up. They already know that you can help them solve their problems. And a lot of them will have decided that they already want to work with you. So what does this lead to? Well, this leads you to gain clients. And that is your 20K months consistently. And it could be even more. It just depends on what you charge for your programs. So, you know, if you charge more for consultancy package, I have some consulting clients who charge 40,000 for consulting package. Actually, you could maybe, you know, fill your books for the next year just with one webinar. So this is the strategy. It's incredibly simple to execute, and it really works. It's a strategy I've been using, and I've increased and doubled my revenue every 3 to 6 months over the past year using this strategy. And it's also great because if you don't want to spend all your time posting content every single day on LinkedIn, this is a way of warming up your audience and getting those inbound leads. So I hope you enjoyed that, and please do, if you're wanting to know how to generate more inbound leads through LinkedIn, if you want to know how to scale up your LinkedIn lead generation, then get in touch with me. Send me a message on LinkedIn or send me an email, shelley@clientnectar.com, and I look forward to planning out a strategy with you and helping you get clear on how you can achieve 20K plus months consistently.